The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside. We are live on this Wednesday morning. It's Week 9 NFL Power Rankings. And yes, we are live in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. Yeah, Jeremy lost his voice yesterday. The original intention is always to record the Power Rankings to give us a little morning off, but yeah, Jeremy was losing his voice by the end of the last call last night, which was a lot of fun. We liked hanging out with everybody, just chit-chatting, shooting the BS.
Yeah, we're going to keep doing
choking down some wasabi. It was gross. Absolutely gross. Ruined the rest of my evening. Thank you for that.
And it made mine. It made mine. And the weirdness from yesterday has just poured into today. We've been here for an hour and a half. We've literally had barn fires, butt beads, just all kinds of weird shit happening around here. Like, this is just what is happening.
Oh, no, butt beads. That's never a good thing. And it's always a great way to start off a Wednesday morning with a little breaking news. Ha! I love this button. It's never going away. And you can't make me.
Oh, I will.
Ian Rappaport reporting that the Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas has a new issue with his ankle that necessitated an appointment with a specialist recently. And he's going to be done.
He's done.
He's going to be done for the year.
So now the New Orleans Saints are running the Lou Holtz veer.
There's no better way to play football. There's just never throw the ball. You just triple option and Michael Thomas football.
I mean, they've been doing it anyway. They're 31st in the league in passing offense, and this doesn't help any kind of little way. Jameis Winston lost for the year with a torn ACL. And I think he also had some MCL damage as well from that horse collar tackle against the Bucs this past weekend.
CC, we're like an AA meeting for sports.
What's up, CC?
What up, CC? It's going to be a
I like how you added a little flavor on that one.
Flavor, yeah. I slept a lot.
That's good.
Like a lot.
That's good. He doesn't sleep a lot.
No,
it worries me.
I don't.
You worry me, boy.
Let me out the nervous hospital. Told me I will. Yeah, Michael Thomas being out for the year, that doesn't do much for me. I don't like that, even not nary a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because I have him everywhere.
And now you can officially drop him.
Yes, he is obviously now droppable. Do you want anything for the Saints that's not named Alvin Kamara?
No.
I mean, Marquez Callaway, there are a couple games where I guess he could be fine, but been thrown to by Taysom Hill.
The defense, maybe?
The defense is going to be put in so many bad situations that I don't even know that I want that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
New Orleans is a team that is higher today than they probably will be in any other power rankings we do, because I have a funny feeling
this is going to go poorly.
This is about to go off the freaking rails.
Well, here's the thing, though. They've been winning games, and they've sucked in the passing game. So, I mean, maybe they can hold.
If finds a way to keep this together,
yeah.
Just put him in Canton. Just go ahead and give him his bust.
I mean, he's going to be anyway.
And he should be.
Yeah.
But Jesus, this is just not an overly talented team.
Trevor Siemian, Taysom Hill. Here's the thing: Trevor Siemian may have to play because they'll need Taysom Hill to catch passes because they got no other options in the receiving game. It's not good for the New Orleans Saints. Unfortunately, Michael Thomas, again, out for the rest of the season. Adam Schefter now confirming, yeah, everybody's jumped on it.
They all own it now.
Yeah.
That's the way news works. Somebody hears it, and then we all go, hey, retweet that guy.
But here's the thing. I looked at it yesterday, going over the New Orleans Saints schedule for the rest of the season. There's some very winnable games on that schedule.
There are, but I'm telling you, that team is – there are two teams that you're undervaluing how much they're going to regress. Mm-hmm. And it's the New Orleans Saints and the Tennessee Titans. There is a massive regression coming.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how massive you can get with New Orleans. I mean, it's not like Jameis Winston was lighting up the world.
No, but he at least had an arm that scared you. Taysom Hill doesn't. Mm-hmm. If you remember last year when Taysom Hill had to play for Drew Brees, every defense against them just went.
Yep.
And that's what's going to happen again.
They still won games in that stretch, though.
They did.
Yeah. I'm not worried about Michael. Here's the thing. I think it's more of a mental thing with Michael Thomas than anything.
I don't.
You think it's an actual physical problem that the ankle will never be right again?
Well, I think he's got some head issues.
Mm-hmm.
He's been contentious anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Thomas may end up being the proof positive of why you don't pay wide receivers. Because have you noticed he's been a complete train wreck since they paid him?
Mm-hmm.
That's not an accident. This is not. He made the decision on the ankle completely independent of the team, and it has gone terribly. By the way, there's a story happening in hockey right now with Jack Eichel. The team won't let him get the medical treatment that he wants because their doctors disagree. This is why.
Yeah.
You want to know why teams do that? This is why. Because when you do things completely independent of them, and you mark my words, they're going to chase money on him. I won't be shocked if he never plays another down for the New Orleans Saints.
I won't either. That was part of the risk for me when we were saying, "Hey, go out and draft him, stick him on your IR slot, and then when he comes back, it'll all be fine."
It wasn't for me,
but it was
I thought there was no risk in having him everywhere.
No, man, it was a major risk. I always thought it was a major risk, but it was one that could pay off in the end because he has been discontented, because he has been, out on this whole thing. I mean, he was hurt last year, and Drew Brees retires, and then he wants out. Well, now because he doesn't have the quarterback, he doesn't have a guy to get him the ball anymore. He didn't want to play with Jameis Winston. Now Jameis Winston's done. He definitely doesn't want to play with Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian. I'm not saying that he's making it up and he's faking an injury. I'm sure that there are setbacks with the injuries.
He's re-injured the ankle.
Yeah, I'm sure there are re-injuries here, but there's also that part that I don't think it really offends him all that much. He wanted out anyway.
Well, here's the thing. He put his Peter in my porridge, and I'm not happy about it. Because he was my little receiver hammer that was supposed to be coming in at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But not now.
No, now you have to hit the waiver wire, and you got to hope that you hit on Devin Duvernay having a good second half of the year. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's not the one. If you're doing it that way, you're doing it wrong.
That's the first name that came to my mind. That was
you have a weird brain. You're a weird guy. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that.
Well, because I've been scrounging all the waiver wires this week to look and see what's out there, and it seems like his name is one of the ones that pops up on the top list all the time.
Chuck G said, by the way, the Atlanta Braves won the World Series last night.
They did.
Yeah, they did. We're going to talk about that on the ESPN show today.
Yeah, we will. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of Limmer and see if he wants to come on and talk some baseball this afternoon. But, yeah, it was good. Thank you, Atlanta Braves, from all of America. We didn't want to see the Houston Astros win it, and it's good to see the Atlanta Braves get the victory. So, anyhow.
Yeah, and when we have baseball interviews from now on, I'm going to just throw this on the screen. This will be because a lot of people commented now that you can see us on the ESPN show.
Yeah,
there's look how disinterested. It's not that I'm disinterested; I'm doing graphics down the line. So from now on, I'm just going to throw this over my face. Like there I am. Hey.
No.
Just there we go.
No, I don't think so.
Jeremy placeholder.
No, when we talk baseball, what you should do is you should put up a still frame of Eli Manning from the Manning cast
with his mouth open. I could do that too.
Because that's all he does when Peyton's talking to the guests. And yeah, that's pretty much what you did. When we did that first interview with Limmer, I was like, we need to have a picture of the person that's talking.
And now we do.
To go up there because I noticed it as well.
And now we do.
I noticed it as well. Like, oh, this is great. Here I am talking into a microphone to someone you can't see, and we're just staring at Jeremy's disinterested face. This is awesome.
It wasn't disinterested. I was doing things.
Stop lying. Never lie to your audience.
I have things that I have to do over here to make this show run. Sorry.
I like that, Adam Black. He says one of the payoffs for the torture ticket should be you having to do an interview with Mark Lemke about baseball.
Oh, that
would go poorly.
So balls and strikes. That's weird. That's what are your thoughts on climate change?
You remember that time you won the World Series?
That was awesome.
Wasn't that awesome?
That was awesome.
You remember that time you turned down that role in Bull Durham? That was a mistake, wasn't it?
That wasn't awesome.
Mark always told me that was one of the biggest mistakes he ever made, was that he was playing for the Durham Bulls at the time they were making Bull Durham, and they wanted him to be a part of the team in the movie. Excuse me.
Fuck was that there, Predator? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Some of that wasabi phlegm still hung in there.
Yeah, by the way, we'll have a video of that out later. If you want to see those things on the last call show, there's a little join button underneath us. That's for our YouTube memberships. We will have all kinds of things in those. That has become we're excited about that little button.
Yeah,
because these things we can just pair together and we don't have to do other things. And
yeah. So
YouTube is very how do I say this? YouTube is very user friendly.
Yeah.
So they make my life a lot easier.
Anyway, when they were filming Bull Durham, Limmer was playing for the Bulls at the time, and he decided to go play winter ball in Puerto Rico rather than to be in the movie. He was like, maybe I should have done that differently. It's like, no, Mark, you've got the personality for baseball, not for movies. Just so you know that.
We love Lemke, though.
We do. He is a great guy. He is a great guy, and he loves my criticism because I did say that exactly to his face. You don't have the personality for movies. You do have the personality for baseball.
They do have a very open relationship.
We do. We do.
Very honest.
We tend to see other people sometimes. You know, it's a very open relationship.
There's a reason that I tell the jokes.
Anyhow, it is Power Rankings Wednesday here in the Sportsocracy, as we are the midway point of the NFL season. Obviously, last week we had the number one team in the Power Rankings, the Arizona Cardinals, lose. So everybody's jumping on a new number one now. But, as always, we start at the bottom. Last week I had the New York Jets at number 32 because, well, they fucked me on that Jets +7 thing.
And you know what? You got to turn my damn board on.
What?
I swear to Jehovah, I'm gonna get a board behind my head that says turn the damn board on.
No.
Yeah, they're not 32. They are still in the bottom 10, but they are not 32.
They most definitely are in the bottom 10.
32 is your fighting Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
The pride of Detroit.
Nope.
0-8.
No. You can keep talking about it. They are the best 0-8 team ever in the NFL's history.
As evidenced by their 44-6 shellacking.
They are horrible. God, they're horrible.
Yeah, they're bad. They're bad. I mean, that's the thing. Be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Be bad. There's nothing wrong with being bad.
No, that's the thing. And now I'm, you should give up hope. I mean, you get killed like that by a bad team like the Philadelphia Eagles. Get this, a team that doesn't run the ball just ran the ball down your throat for 4 quarters. Yeah, I think maybe it's time that you just keep going on this path. 0-17 is a dream, and it's a dream within your grasp.
So Rob Johnson asked. So this has been a consistent problem. All right. So if you're an Apple user, apparently Apple doesn't like YouTube.
Okay.
That's the fun thing about tech, is that some of these companies just don't like each other. If you refresh the browser that this is in, there is now a link underneath the description that goes to the membership thing. Let's see if that works. Rob Johnson was the one that asked, so somebody try it and tell me if that works. You can't put links in the description of YouTube chats. They block you off and tell you to go, eat Peters. So I had to go in and refresh it and try that. Mm-hmm. I meant to do that earlier and I forgot. So
okay.
Somebody try that and let me know if it works. Yeah, Detroit's bad.
Yeah.
Do we need anything beyond that?
No.
No, they suck a lot.
A completely defeated schedule is within your grasp, and why not? Go for it.
And they made
you got nothing to lose.
Horseradish, green food coloring bullshit.
Gross.
That video is well worth the watch. We'll have it out later today.
Gross. The Jacksonville Jaguars, number 31.
They are also terrible.
Mm-hmm. Just got pounded by the Seattle Seahawks. There's not much
And you
hope.
made their defense look good. That's the unsettling part to me for Jacksonville, is that you don't – I don't really know what you do well. Oh, James Robinson. Yeah, but then you get behind and he disappears.
Mm-hmm. And he's hurt now. So that's a problem.
Oh, he's fine. He avoided serious injury.
Oh,
He was
did he?
day-to-day.
Okay.
Yeah, he's day-to-day.
All right. Well, at least there's that. At least maybe next game they'll be able to run the football. You can't do much. You can't do much with what you got down in Jacksonville. I'm surprised that they weren't involved in the trade deadline at some point.
Who you gonna move? Who would anybody want?
I mean, there was probably a team out there that would take Cam Robinson off their hands.
Why? Who you gonna play his place? Name me any other lineman for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually, for some reason, still believe he's a real-life NFL player.
To me, it doesn't really matter. And I don't think it should really matter to them.
And that's why you're not a GM, because you're the only piece of your franchise that's not worth setting on fire is your quarterback.
It's your quarterback.
So, yeah, let's trade his tackle and see how that works out.
No, it's they're bad. They're number 31.
Oh, Jason Trump said that our account can post links in the description. Let's see if that's true. Boop.
Brandon Sargent says Detroit is bad, and as a Lions fan, I knew this day would come. How many times you been here? How many times have the Lions been in this situation?
Yeah,
I would love to know.
This is the first time that I actually look at it and go, "You have hope," because I still believe in the coaching staff. I still believe in the front office.
Not for this year.
No,
for this year.
obviously not for this year. I mean, anybody that's on this list right now, I ain't talking about for this year. You're up a creek without a paddle, so sorry about your luck.
Yeah. So the Jacksonville Jaguars are number 31.
And
the Miami Dolphins are next?
Yeah.
No, the Houston Texans are 30.
Yeah, the Houston Texans are 30, the Miami Dolphins are 29.
Uh-huh.
I will be really honest with you. Any game that those four teams play against each other should not be broadcast on television. We do not let offensive things be shown on television.
That's not even kind of true. They show offensive things on television all the time.
Yeah, but we censor things. You don't need to see that level of ugly. Rob Johnson.
I'm your huckleberry.
Welcome to Pennies for Your Thoughts.
Yes,
By
sir.
the way, I think we're going to call this the degenerate delegation.
Yeah, that's what you threw out this morning. Yeah,
That's one I liked.
The
If
degenerate.
you have any ideas for that, or you have a Tank loves alliteration, so if it all starts with the same letter, then he's really going to like it.
If it starts with the same letter and it rhymes, in all the way. What?
Okay.
You don't
If it
agree?
rhymes, I'm probably going to like it markedly less.
So the Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, Detroit Lions, those are the bottom four. Who's next?
Why?
Why? Why? We do this every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Doesn't mean you have to answer it.
I have to shut it up because it's very obviously vibrating.
The Washington football team's next on my list.
I see, and they're bad, and they're on my list too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not quite to that level.
You're
I
not there
still
yet.
look at those four bottom teams and just go, "Sweet Lord, you are terrible." The bottom four are so listless that I can't say anything nice about them.
But right now, you think that if they met up on a neutral field, you would have the football team favored over the Falcons and the Giants?
Yes. Yes, I would.
I disagree.
I don't. Because I think there is markedly more talent on that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're not doing anything with it. That's the problem.
And I understand that.
I get that
At
they're
some
more
point,
talented.
Ryan Fitzpatrick comes back.
Yeah.
And I think that would certainly help.
As it stands right now, though, this is one of the times where I feel like you're projecting and I'm not. This team's just bad. They can't find any offensive rhythm. The defense is a huge letdown. To me, they are They are one of the 5 worst teams in the NFL. And yes, I have the Giants ahead of them. I got the Jets ahead of them. I got the Falcons ahead of them. I just don't feel like this is a good team at all. The Giants, on the other hand, I feel like they're way low on your list.
They're not, because they suck a lot. All right, so explain to me how the Giants are low. Give me what they actually do well.
I can't really put it into words.
There's not anything.
I can't really put it into words what they do well.
No, what you're doing is going, oh, they hung with the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the thing. Chiefs suck too.
I get it.
That's not a positive. You're not good. I like Joe Judge too. Oh, Chuck G.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Welcome to Penny's Free Thoughts.
Yes, sir.
I'm really glad I put that I'm your Huckleberry button on here.
You've got a lot of use out of it.
I have. And that's the greatest movie. It's a top 5 greatest movie ever made.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's not really anything that they do really well. It's just when they get into games, they can be competitive with just about anybody.
Oh, they can be competitive. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh,
much more so than the Washington football team.
They're competitive. Oh, here's the thing. The Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs are much closer to each other than you want to believe. They are. Like, those two teams are much closer to each other. I mean, the Giants have done nothing to make me feel warm and fuzzy. Oh, they beat the Saints. Cool. Sweet. Ooh, Matthew Hoffman said, just join Patreon as well.
I'm your Huckleberry.
We have
Thank you, sir.
We have a new thing with that's coming later this week. We're working on all right, I have to cover this. It is really hard to order merchandising things, and we finally tapped out and went, okay, we don't want to order it anymore. You just fucking do it. And we found somebody in Asheville that will do that.
Nice.
So now we will have 2 apparel partners just that do completely different things. And we will have no say in it, and they just do it. I finally tapped out on it after about the 7th different one that I went, I'm going to stab you with a knife because you are pissing me off. I don't ask much of people, but if you say, I got this, then get this. By the way, we have a new shirt that says Republicans Watch Sports too that I'm a big fan of. It's red. It has the logo on it.
Can't wait to see it.
Oh, yeah. I should show you things, shouldn't I?
You should. You very well should.
Well, here's the thing. Unless you're going to come live in my spare bedroom, then some of these things you're just not going to see. It wasn't an offer.
I don't want to do that.
It wasn't an offer. You'd have to sleep on my desk anyway. And I don't think my desk would support you.
No.
Not because you're so big, but because I built it, which means probably was not built well.
28 to me feels very, very low for the New York Giants.
Be honest with yourself. Who are they going to beat? They play the Raiders this week. Not a snowball's chance in hell.
No.
Buccaneers.
No.
Eagles.
No.
At the Dolphins.
Yeah, they can win that.
I don't like chances. On the road. On the road. You actually think they're going to win a game on the freaking road?
They play better on the road.
I don't disagree with that. I've said that I'm glad ESPN finally caught up to me. Hey, Daniel Jones is better on the road. No shit, I said that a year ago. Then you go at the Chargers, Cowboys, Eagles, at the Bears, Washington football team.
There's
This team will be lucky if they win 4 games.
There's a couple of winnable
because
games
they
on there.
are not good. They are bad.
But so is everybody else down in this category.
100% they are.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Is like when I say the Giants feel low to me. I mean, no, they're not good, but I still think that they're better than these other teams.
Yeah, they could be 26. I'm pissed off the Giants are 28 and not 26.
Exactly.
Somehow we always spend way too much time on the bottom 10.
Yeah.
I went back and watched Power Rankings over the weekend.
Yeah.
We spend entirely too much time on these dumpster juice
Because it's
teams that
really
are down
important for us to decide who is the worst of the worst. No, I've got the Giants right behind the Seahawks on my power rankings.
Yeah, I don't agree with you.
The Atlanta Falcons, obviously, the loss of Calvin Ridley and the unknowns there are going to hurt that team.
There's just a lot of weird things happening in Atlanta. The offense looked completely listless against Carolina. It's another team. You just don't do a lot well, and that defense is putrid.
Yes, it is. It is indeed. The Atlanta Falcons, and then you go Washington football team. We've talked about how big of a disappointment they are. And then you're fighting New York Jets at number 25 with a bullet and with the future of the franchise.
Oh, yeah. With reigning
now under center.
NFL Offensive Player of the Week, Mike White.
These tomatoes aren't even ripe.
You need to recharge your brain batteries.
We got to recharge your brain batteries.
He's so damn excited that the Jets have crawled out of the cellar to be
here's the thing.
Still part of the bottom 10.
Well, here's the thing. I never really thought the Jets were that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I fell for it after a week because I was pissed when we got just shellacked by the Patriots. I don't think that team's that bad. Now let me. I got to elaborate on that.
Uh-huh.
They're not that bad compared to the rest of the dog water that's at the bottom of this. The Jets have, by the way, my favorite stat I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
The AFC East has 2 wins against winning teams. They're both the Jets. It's the Titans and the Bengals. It's the only 2 wins against winning teams that this whole division has.
Right.
Hilarious.
It is. So the Jets at 25.
Oh.
Seattle was 23.
Yep. Hold on. Kelvin Joyner.
I'm your huckleberry.
Welcome to Pennies for Your Thoughts.
Who's 24?
Buttons. There we go. Buttons. The Chicago Bears. I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
If they could get Matt Nagy out of this building, I think Justin Fields has a shot. I saw enough of him out of the pocket against the San Francisco 49ers to go, that's the first time I've seen you look like a real-life NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. He looked like an NFL quarterback.
And it should tell you a lot that it was when Matt Nagy was
Matt
away.
Nagy was sitting at home playing with his super sniffles. Yeah, I'm bringing that back. That pissed off a lot of people a long time ago, so you know what I like to do? Piss people off.
Piss people off. Oh, good Lord.
Ever since talking to our news guy, Mark Starling, about his Twitter account, I am about to become markedly more offensive.
And the Seattle Seahawks at number 23. That, it's good that Russ has got the pen out.
Can we be honest about Russ in the pen, though? Because I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah.
How good do you actually think this team can be? All right, you're going to beat the bad teams. Are you going to go to Green Bay and beat them 2 weeks from now?
No.
Hell no.
No.
Are you going to beat the Cardinals? No.
No.
Will you beat the 49ers again?
Probably.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. At the Rams, they're going to win 6 games. You'll beat the Lions, you'll beat the Bears, you'll beat the Texans, you'll beat the Washington football team. That's 7.
Yeah. The Seattle Seahawks need Russell Wilson to make this work. And you know what? All they can do now is salvage what they can salvage out of the rest of the season. This wasn't a good team to begin with. They've done nothing but fall in the power rankings since the beginning of the season. That makes me curious. Where did we have them at the beginning of the year? 16? Middle of the league? They peaked at like 14 for me, and then you lose Russ, and you're just outside of you're just at the top of the bottom 10.
Yeah, they got to 16 for me, and you're going to live about here.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think this team's good. With Russ, they're at least competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think you're going to have a top 14 pick that winds up going to the Jets. By the way, my first mock draft will be out Friday. I love mock drafts.
You do. You're such a draft nerd.
I love mock drafts.
Such a draft nerd. The Jeremy's mock draft 1.0.
Now, I'm calling it something different this year. I haven't figured out what it is
Please do. Everybody does.
Everybody does. Yeah, I know. And I'm doing something different. I just don't know what. Maybe I'll put Roman numerals on it. I've been watching a Nexium documentary, so I'm really locked into Roman numerals.
They made a whole documentary about antacid pills?
No, Nexium, the cult.
Oh, the cult. Gotcha.
You literally all you have to do is lob out cult, In. I'm in. I'm present and accounted for. Here we go.
Interesting. Number 22.
I need a shirt that says "Ask me about Colts."
No.
I like that idea way more. It was funnier to me when I said it out loud than it was in my head. Ask me about Colts.
He's starting to fit in with the Asheville scene more and more every day, isn't he? He's just completely abandoned footwear with covering over your toes.
Look, okay, I don't wear foot prisons. You can eat one. All right, that's your choice.
He's got the hipster beard, mullet, backwards ball cap thing going.
You know, as you're saying it, you're not wrong.
No, he's all into Colts, and pretty soon you're going to be voting for Colts. Brandon.
Oh, hell no. I'd vote for you before I'd vote for Brandon.
Thank you. It's glad to have your support.
That was really more of a shot at you than
Let's
that was.
change this country. Come on. We can do it.
Yeah, everybody. Never mind. No good could come from this.
Number 22 on the power rankings. That's your cue, Sparky. There we go.
I'm trying, damn it. I got 48,000 things running over here.
He's got the Denver Broncos at number 22, Philadelphia Eagles at number 21. I have them reversed in the power rankings. Philadelphia is my 22. I find it very, very interesting that, for weeks and weeks and weeks, Philadelphia Eagles fans were pissed off because you're not running the ball. Miles Sanders gets hurt. What do? You run the damn ball.
Yeah, a lot.
All the damn time. They had, 3 different running backs that had more than 15 carries this past week, or more than a dozen carries this past week, as they ran all over the Detroit Lions.
I will say, now between you and the chat, I'm starting to embrace the fact that I might be the weirdest hippie in the history of time. I did not know that about myself.
It's been quite obvious to many of us for a while now.
Honey, we're Democrats now. No,
No, All right.
Oh, shit, I did politics again.
So make your case here for the Denver Broncos.
I don't think they're good, but I think they're a coach away from being markedly better. I think Vic Fangio is as bad of a coach as I have ever seen in the NFL. He is awful, bad at game management. First of all, they almost trotted Washington into a tie. And I thank God they didn't, because 10 more minutes of that is something that's the last need that we needed. But I just think they just need a coach.
And a quarterback.
Kevin Vick, I was 100% kidding. You know me better than that.
You need a coach and a quarterback. These are the two things that the Denver Broncos are missing.
And I'll be honest with you, I think they could get by with Teddy Bridgewater if they had a smarter freaking coach. But, I mean, you've got Vic Fangio running the defense and Pat Shurmur running the offense. Hey, 2004 called, they want their shit back. Get somebody with a little bit of evolution in it.
Why? You don't need it. You don't have any evolutionary players.
You have a ton of weapons. The Denver Broncos have a ton of weapons.
Yeah, but what does it matter if you don't have the quarterback?
You're telling me right now you wouldn't like this team better with Joe Brady. And that is always the offensive name I use, but he's also a guy that does really well with multiple receivers.
I mean, we saw Teddy Bridgewater with decent receivers with Joe Brady last year in Carolina.
The youngest defense in the NFL. I would like this team better that way. That you could at least score. And I look at the defense and go, it's not good, especially now without Von Miller, but
right.
You still have Bradley Chubb, not that he's playing.
I as I continue to watch the Denver Broncos and their struggles with moving the ball down the field, and then when they do get close, I don't know what their red zone percentage is, but it ain't good.
No, it's pretty brutal if I remember correctly.
This is what we saw in Carolina last year with Teddy Bridgewater. Remember when the offseason came around and everybody was like, "Oh, what happened? Y'all couldn't punch it in when you got in the red zone." Oh, we never practiced red zone offense,
which is bizarre.
But now he's in Denver doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's not a coaching problem. No. It's a Teddy Bridgewater problem.
Look, I'm not saying he's a good quarterback. I'm saying he could be serviceable if you had a little innovation to the offense.
Maybe.
In 2021, you cannot just lace up and go, hey, we're going to run power I to the strong side. Doesn't work that way.
No. They've got 2 great running backs. I'll give them that. You can run the ball. Awesome. But you haven't been able to use your weapons. They've been hurt off and on between Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler. Everybody's gotten hurt for this team. They're not good.
No, they're
not.
not.
And I don't see any hope for them.
Yeah, they're still in the 20s, so I agree with you wholeheartedly. They're not good.
Next year, you get a quarterback, you get a coach. Okay, we'll talk. But until those 2 things happen, you're not going to be good.
You're one of the better, really shitty teams.
Mm-hmm. And now they've had the divorce with Von Miller, which doesn't help anything either. The Philadelphia Eagles at number 21. Yeah, we know how that ended up. That's how the trouble ticket the trouble ticket. I keep calling it that. It's the torture ticket, right?
Bingo.
All right, torture ticket. So the torture ticket, obviously, I didn't have fun with that yesterday, but like I said, man of my word, I will always pay off my debts, and I did. I hate Philadelphia, though. I hate them so much. Like just watching them run the football this past week, as a Miles Sanders fan, just made me hate Nick Sirianni more.
I can't hate Nick Sirianni more. I swear to you, I want a paternity test done to prove that Vic Fangio is Nick Sirianni's father.
Uh-huh.
That's the only way I can hate 2 coaches as much as I hate the 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a good coach, but I mean, here's the thing. They do have talent. There's talent on that team.
Sure.
Not much of it in the playmaker department, but, there's talent here. I didn't really know what to do with Philadelphia. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I just look at Philadelphia and go, you're okay. You can just beat the hell out of bad teams. It's cool. I don't think you're beating anybody good.
Mm-hmm. Next up, number 20, the New England Patriots.
You are one pathetic loser.
You will never convince me this team's good.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna take that to your grave.
Huh? I don't think they're very good, and I haven't, and I'm not going to.
So how do you explain what happened this past weekend when they beat the Chargers, a team that we think is good?
That can't stop. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're
good.
Oh,
you don't think the Chargers are good anymore?
Well, don't worry. They're not far up the next side of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't stop the run. So what did Bill do? We're going to throw exotic schemes at Justin Herbert. He'll turn it over. We'll get the ball in positive, on the plus side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you did. They can't stop the run to save their friggin' lives. Do I take a lot from that? No, I don't. Who's New England play this week? At Carolina. You guess who I'm taking? At Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
The following week, the Browns. Who you think I'm taking? And I hate the Browns. There's a lot of losses still on the schedule. 2 games with the Bills, the Titans, the Colts. Yeah, you'll beat the Jaguars and the Dolphins. Whoopee fucking do. This is still a 7-10, 8-9 team.
I don't disagree with you.
There you go.
But I also feel like there is a path where this team, they could be 7-4 after the next 3 weeks. They could beat Carolina. They could beat Cleveland. They could beat Atlanta. It probably will beat Atlanta.
Any path of that happening.
No path.
They'll beat Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're 5-6 after the next 3 weeks.
But you've seen enough from Carolina to go, yeah, definitely that's going to be good.
I don't like this team on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I got news for you. They weren't on the road last week. The Chargers have one great big problem. You can't fill your own stadium.
Mm-hmm.
There were more Patriots fans there than Chargers fans, and it wasn't even close. Not even close. They panned around that stadium at one point, and I honest to God forgot it was in L.A. It's like, man, that's weird. They have blue accents in oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's not New England.
Okay.
I don't buy this team. This is a greatly limited quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he's been so efficient. That's fine. I guess, you know what this team reminds me of? And I thought of this watching them play the Chargers. This reminds me of the Chad Pennington Jets because the defense was good. Chad never beat you. Never threw picks in the red zone. Never turned it over at that critical time. But he never won games for us either. And that's what I look at with them.
No.
You need better playmakers than you have to prop up Mac Jones, and you don't have that.
Yeah.
Oh, but the defense is so good. Is it, though? Is it really?
I mean, it's hard.
Is it really?
It's hard to pinpoint exactly why, other than it's the same old Patriots. It's the same old scrappy game plan heavy. Bill Belichick is a genius, and you're not kind of an attitude, and they can nasty out wins.
I had a rule when I was single. If you can't explain what you see in somebody in one sentence or less, you probably shouldn't be with them, because that's when you start explaining emotional support monkeys and shit like that. And that's New England. I can't explain that team in one sentence. I hate this dry-ass studio.
Are you done? Are you okay?
For now.
Okay.
Until 3 minutes from now.
Good Lord, we're going to have to get a humidifier in here or something.
I have one, and I'm going to turn it on the minute the show's over.
I think you should.
It's so dry in here.
Just kicks up all of your lung butter, I guess. Anyhow, I agree with Kevin Vick. Yeah, especially if Sam Darnold doesn't play, I'm taking New England.
Sam's going to play.
Even if he does play, I think I'm taking New England.
Alex asks, what's stopping Bill from doing the same thing to Sammy did to Herbert? Nothing. It's on the road. Oh, so is L.A. No, it wasn't. And I got news for you. In Charlotte, you're not going to be right at home there, Billy boy.
How so? That's not a home team stadium by any stretch.
Yeah, but not to that level. It's not like that. There's no team in the NFL that's like that. That stadium was packed, and it was 75% Patriots fans.
Okay.
Charlotte's not going to be that way.
No, it'll be 58% New England fans.
Plus, Carolina's defense is just more multiple. They can stop the run. That's what I've learned about New England. Mac Jones' efficiency is directly related to how effective Damian Harris is. When Damian Harris is good, Mac Jones is fine. When you shut that down and he has to beat you, which Carolina can do, then all of a sudden I go, this is where you start to see his limitations. Am I saying it's completely out of the realm of possibility? No, but I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah. I don't think New England is quite this bad. I had them at 17 on my power rankings this week.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Who in the hell could you possibly put them in front of? You can't think they're better than Cleveland.
I do.
I don't. And I don't think it's close. What do they do better than Cleveland?
Win.
Oh, really? They have the same record. It's kind of funny. And Cleveland had a better record last year. No, they don't win better than Cleveland. They have the exact same record. Do they run better? Fuck no.
No.
Is Mac Jones better than Baker Mayfield? No. Are the receivers better? No. Is the defense better? No.
I don't know. It's just something about that Cleveland team.
By the way, Cleveland, third best defense in the league. So, no. To me, it's asinine to put New England in front of them because they don't do anything better than them. Oh, they have Bill.
They do.
Who I think is an overrated coach historically. Oh, you're great with Tom Brady. Sweet. You know who else would have been? Any motherfucking other person on planet Earth.
Right.
Bryson DeChambeau's dad just coached him to a Super Bowl in Tampa. So, yeah, if anybody not named Bill Belichick was the coach of that team, you'd go, man, they suck. But Bill, kiss the rings. You know how many he's got without Brady?
So transparent.
Oh, you're a hater. Oh, you're a hater. No, I'm not. The team's not good. All right, play a fun game. Because if I'm not mistaken, those two teams play each other real soon.
Yeah, they played 2 weeks.
Yeah, put your money where your mouth is. Torture bet. Straight up. No points, no shit. You take New England, you take New England, I take Cleveland.
I need to see who's playing first.
And point proven.
Right.
So that's the fun thing about money. Money takes bullshit and cuts it in half. That's what it's the number one thing I always loved about gambling is that gambling will take your bullshit and throw it right out the door. Oh, Cleveland is clearly worse than New England. Cool, bet on it. Well, yeah, I have to poop and wash my hair.
Right.
By the way, that's what I'd say to anybody that calls me a New England hater. Cool, you bet it.
Yeah.
$100 charity of your choice, $100 charity of my choice. Let's do this, and I'll do it all day long.
All day long. No, I do have New England ahead of Cleveland. I've got them ahead of San Francisco. I got them ahead of the Carolina Panthers.
I don't understand that in the least. I don't understand two of those at all.
Mm-hmm.
The only one of those that makes even vague sense to me is Carolina.
All right, who's next on your list?
Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Didn't say they were good.
Yeah.
Just said they're better than New England.
By a spot.
By a spot.
By a spot. The Cleveland Browns. Yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield sucks.
If you haven't
this
figured
whole
out
offense
Baker
is
at this
bad.
point, if you haven't figured out Baker Mayfield at this point, I can't help you.
Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., that ain't never happening.
Cleveland is third in the NFL in total defense.
Yeah.
They're I don't remember exactly where they were. They're the most efficient running team in the NFL. I don't remember where they rank in terms of yards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, weird. 1. You're the best running team in the league. You have the third best defense, and you're mediocre at best. I wonder why that could be. Oh, it's because your quarterback sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And when the playoffs come around, you'll be at home with Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you will. And again, I think this is week by week, and I don't care about the labrum and all that. Week by week, they're learning that that's not the future. If they want to be a successful franchise, Baker Mayfield is not their future.
Nope.
You're stuck with him for another year. Maybe in the offseason you can find somebody to trade for him. Let's send him to Houston or something.
Baker?
Yeah, get him out of Cleveland.
I don't
That
think
needs to
I don't
be-
think they're going to pay him. Everything I hear out of Cleveland is they have no intentions of paying him $35 million. And
As
I
well they
think he
shouldn't.
knows that. I think he's becoming resigned to that.
Mm-hmm. At some point, you have to have a little bit of self-awareness and go, you know what, I'm
which
not worth
he's
that.
never had.
No, he's never had that. But it's going to take Kevin Stefanski to sit him down in a room and go, you're out of your mind if you think we're giving you $30 million. And by the way, go home. Or go somewhere else.
Kelvin Joyner asked, why didn't, or actually I got to go back. Rob Johnson said, did you see Odell's dad's video? Yes. And I can't say this enough. Stop if you're the family member of NFL players with Twitter or Insecure Graham. I now refuse to call it that other name. It's Insecure Graham.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jonas Knox.
Yeah. Let's stop with this.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't help you. That's the thing. Is like, I don't know what it is about this generation or what. Like, you need to have a conversation. Patrick Mahomes with his entire family. We've talked about this before. Like, stop it. You're not helping the situation.
No,
people
it's
hate
because-
me
it's
enough,
because
and if
people
my
have
family,
social media, and they think their opinions matter.
but if my family are the only ones that come to my defense, it's only going to make it worse. And they don't seem to understand that. Like, it's like everybody saw LeVar Ball and went, yeah, that.
Yeah,
we
let's
need
do
to do
that.
that.
That's fun.
We need
Let's
to do
do more
that
of
all
that.
the time because LeVar has set forth this great atmosphere for his kids to develop in professional sports with. No.
Then Kelvin Joyner in the comments asked, why didn't they trade Odell Beckham? Solely put, because nobody wanted him.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints called. And to the best of what I can tell, they were willing to give up a 7th-round conditional pick with Cleveland paying his salary. Was a non-starter.
Yeah.
And that was the only team that showed any interest in him.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, why would you want him? You've got your dad on Insecure Graham making all of this, ridiculous noise. You're not very good. And your dad apparently doesn't understand how football works. Look, he's open right here. Yeah, check when the ball was thrown, dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard to figure out. Timestamps. Figure it out.
Jason Trump says, so Baker is this generation's Kirk Cousins?
Yep, and Brandon Hardwick said, I'll take Cousins for 1,000, Alex. I'll take a daily double. I'll take it for 10,000.
Mm-hmm. 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000.
Baker Mayfield couldn't dress up as Kirk Cousins for Halloween.
No. That's an insult to Kirk Cousins.
100% it is. I mean, I get the comparison.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is that I've seen Baker with those weapons, and he never looked like Kirk Cousins. He looked like Colt McCoy.
Right. No. Davis Mills is this generation's Baker Mayfield. How about that?
No, he's got a neck like a giraffe.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, Davis Mills has still got that giraffe neck.
Yeah. No, nobody wants Odell Beckham Jr., and that's why he couldn't be traded. Who wants to take on a guy who can't catch the football anymore? Because even when Baker can get it to him, he rarely ever catches it. That was the one thing that I noticed about seniors' social media posts.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
What?
Keep talking. I've got. I think I have breaking news.
Okay.
I have to verify.
So the Cleveland Browns suck yet again. And lo and behold, they don't have anything positive to look forward to other than Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And the defense. We talked about the defense is pretty good. The Indianapolis Colts are at number 18. Carson Wentz. I'm still believing. I'm still believing that this team can be better than we expect.
Breaking news.
Ooh.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
This is from Tom Pelissero. Aaron Rodgers has tested positive for coronavirus.
Oh,
and
no!
is out on Sunday.
Oh,
Jordan
no.
Love will start. Oh, boy.
This is how it gets started.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Guess who they play? The Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
God, what can I put on that right now? I am going to betus.com and I am going to do something aggressive.
Kansas City all the way.
It's not.
They took it off the board.
Motherfuck! Why the shit did you take it off?
You have to know this as the Vegas guy. You know they took that off the board immediately when they found out.
Okay.
And they found out probably 35 minutes ago.
Okay. Sometimes you just look because you want to know.
You just want to know if they slept in this morning or
maybe.
What?
You never know. Maybe they had. I don't know. Okay. Shut up.
All right, let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts at number 18 this week in the Week 9 Power Rankings here in the Sportsocracy. The Indianapolis Colts are, they're okay.
This is your exogen
Nope. Shut up, board. They are.
That was your cue.
Yeah.
That's how that feels.
What do you mean?
You said that when I couldn't get the damn still to switch.
Oh, yeah.
That was your cue.
That was my cue. Anyway. Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis, they're a turd.
They're a turd.
What do you want from me? They're a turd. They're Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman are good.
Mm-hmm.
The front seven of the defense is good. The rest of it's not. This team's just not very good. And you have no shot to win the division, so you're competing for a wild card with every team in the AFC North. Basically every team not named the Denver Broncos in the AFC West.
Right.
And the Patriots. And the Jets.
I don't know about
the best team in the AFC.
I don't know about no shot to win the division.
No shot.
No
shot.
You were saying yesterday, Tennessee, they ain't going to be able to win a game. Right? You were telling me.
That's not what I said.
I said all they got to do is win 4 games. You're like, I don't know if they can do that.
And I said that's not a given.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a given. You have no idea what this team's going to look like. Here's the problem. The Colts are already, good God, how many games are they behind the division? 3.5 with the tiebreaker to Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't have a shot to win the damn division. They'd have to go pretty much undefeated just to have a shot. And they're going to lose Thursday.
To the Jets.
To Mike White and the New York Jets. Jets, Jets.
What makes you think that they're going to beat the Colts? Just because the Mike White magic has to continue for one more week?
Call it an intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I'm very close to my team. We have a bond. Mm-hmm. By the way, that line went down 5 full points. It started at 15.5, which was stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand that a little bit.
Yeah, it's come down to 10.5, and I'm still looking at it going.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
Jets plus 10.5.
Absolutely.
That's your spicy underdog take of the week.
I do love a good underdog.
You do love a good underdog. That is right. All right, and then at number 17, ahead of the Indianapolis Colts, the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't know where to put them. I genuinely do not know what to do with this team because they're not very good. They've shown themselves to not be very good. The defense is god-awful. I can't have them any higher than that. And, looking at the next 6, I got Carolina at 16. If Kansas City played Carolina right now, I think they'd house them. I think
you think Carolina would house them?
I do. Because I don't know how they'd stop them.
Yeah.
And they're going to run the ball down your damn throat.
I don't know. The offense has looked so pedestrian for the Carolina Panthers
and
without
now I have
Christian
Stephon
McCaffrey.
Gilmore on Tyreek Hill. I mean, that's just where I got to and went, I don't think Indianapolis could score with them.
Right.
I don't think Cleveland could score with them. And I've seen them beat Cleveland.
Christian McCaffrey comes back, it adds something to this team. There's no doubt about it. The offense will, they will rebound to a certain degree. How good can they be down the stretch? I don't know. But it all hinges on CMC. If he can't come back and be healthy and stay healthy, then the playoffs are just a dream for this team.
100%. You're right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're in playoff position right now. Basically because everybody else is fucking around.
The Chiefs and the Panthers, the Chiefs, Panthers, and 49ers for me are the fulcrum of the league. Because they're the teams that I still think they are good enough that they could make a push. Or they could fall out of the playoffs entirely. And it wouldn't shock me in the least on either side for any of the three of them.
Okay. Next.
San Francisco 49ers. They're at 15. I think higher of this team than you do.
Yeah, you do.
And here's my thing. I don't understand why you think so lowly of them.
I don't know. I just to me it just keeps getting worse every week. It just they never live up to expectations for me. I keep thinking I'm going to see dominant defense from them. And their defense is fine, but it's not great. I don't think. I keep expecting
They're
the offense.
fifth in the NFL.
Oh, that's fine.
In total defense.
That's fine.
What the fuck more do you want from them?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the offense looks so bad that I don't know.
Fifth in the NFL in yards allowed.
Okay.
That's what I can't wrap my head around. I want them to play defense better. So what, you want them to be one?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are literally 4 teams in the NFL that have played better defense than this team.
I want them to look better than they do. Right now, they have. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they held the Cardinals in check. Okay.
With their backup rookie quarterback making his first start on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you lost to the Packers, who are one of the best teams in the NFL. You lost to the Seahawks in a game where your quarterback got knocked out of it, and you lost to the Colts in a fucking monsoon. I mean, yes, your 3 wins are the Lions, Eagles, and Bears. Okay. I'm going to level with you. I'm going to like them a lot this weekend against the Cardinals. A lot. Because I don't think that game will even be close.
Why?
Because Kyler Murray's not going to play in it.
I think I still like that offense better than San Francisco's offense.
Mind. San Francisco's defense against Colt McCoy. Good luck with it. I will level with you. If you take the Colt McCoy-led Cardinals, That's our torture bet for the week. Because I've been trying to figure out what it would be that I feel that dogmatic about, and you would too. That'll be the one. And I'll happily watch you do something else stupid next Tuesday.
It's just that they're just not an impressive team to me. And this is why they're.
No sense to me.
Why does it make no sense? They're in the middle of the league for you as well.
They're 15.
Yeah.
They're still a playoff team to me. You think the New England Patriots are better than them, which is comical to me.
Yeah.
That defense against bad quarterbacks. It won't end well.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see.
Yeah,
give it time. You'll see.
I guess so.
Do I think they need to be starting Trey Lance? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. I just don't see a whole lot of difference between this team and, let's use Cleveland. It's not a whole lot of difference between them and the Browns for me.
They're much better at quarterback. Their weapons are astronomically better.
Astronomically
better.
You got one. You got Deebo Samuel.
I got George Kittle and Deebo Samuel.
Well, George Kittle ain't playing right now.
And he will soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, I like Brandon Ayuk better than any weapon Cleveland has.
Why? He hasn't done anything.
This year.
Yeah.
Not just a microcosm of this year. He's still more talented than anybody on that team. I'll take Jarvis Landry. I mean, the guy that can't catch a ball more than 8 yards downfield. Cool. You take that. He's very Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Very drab, very dull, and not a lot of fun to watch.
This is not a lot to like for the San Francisco 49ers for me.
And I'll say the exact same thing I said previously.
Mm-hmm.
Money cuts through bullshit quickly. Cleveland plays San Francisco on a neutral field. You're telling me you'd bet your house on on Cleveland?
No.
There you go.
No, that's why I have them ranked lower than them.
Oh, I thought you had Cleveland ahead of them.
Hell no.
Oh. Well, then why the fuck are you using Cleveland?
Because to me, again, they got a good running game and a good defense. Yeah, but that don't mean a whole lot.
But it's not really. There's just a difference in those two to me. Jimmy Garoppolo has been to a Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield won one playoff game against a team that was literally had one foot in the grave, one foot on a banana peel.
Mm-hmm. How do I feel like we've switched sides on this whole thing? Like, I feel like you're the one projecting now, and I'm the one that's being dogmatic of this team's not good.
The defense will keep them in every game they play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their weapons are good. Good. Real good. As a matter of fact, I would say San Francisco is probably in the top 5 in the NFL in weapons.
So, again, I have to ask you the question. I think I've asked you this like 3 weeks in a row. Then what is wrong with Brandon Ayuk? Why can't they get him involved?
Well, they didn't target him for the first 6 weeks of the season.
Exactly. That's a problem.
It's the same reason that Denzel Mims wasn't targeted with the Jets, because this coaching staff has this really odd projection of how receivers should play. Oh, you can't play every position on the field, which means you don't deserve snaps, which is the reason that Braxton Berrios was getting snaps over Denzel Mims.
Mm-hmm.
You see how stupid that sounds when I say it out loud?
Yep.
I feel the same way about Brandon Ayuk. Oh, he can only play in the slot, which means he can't get snaps for us. Cool. Keep trotting Trent Sheffield out there and see how that works for you. That's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But the offense is multiple, and I believe Kyle Shanahan will figure it out.
All right. Ahead of the San Francisco 49ers. At number 14, it's the Minnesota Vikings.
Another team I really don't know what to do with. Without Danielle Hunter, I don't like this defense at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look exactly like it looked last year. But at this point, the offense is good. Dalvin Cook, every time I watch Dalvin Cook, I'm even more impressed than I was before.
Just every game he shows you something new.
No, it's just the burst, and he's just got a different gear.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Dalvin Cook to me is a lot like watching Barry Sanders was back in the day. Just you can do shit that other people can't do. Not saying he's the best running back in the league. He just does different shit.
Right. As long as you got Kirk Cousins throwing to those receivers, I'm going to take Minnesota over just about every damn other team in the league.
Here's the problem with Minnesota, though. I genuinely see a path that they don't win but a game the rest of the year.
Okay.
They play at the Ravens, at the Chargers, Packers, at the 49ers, at the Lions, Steelers, at the Bears, Rams, at the Packers, Bears. That is one of the grossest schedules I have ever seen. So, this team's going to fall like a rock. This team will be in the bottom 10 by Thanksgiving.
Shoo.
Because you're just not winning any of those games. You're not going to Baltimore and beating Baltimore. It's not going to happen.
No.
You're not going to L.A. and beating the Chargers.
No.
Because you can't shoot out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now without Daniil Hunter. You're not going to beat Green Bay either time. You're not going to San Francisco and beating them. Yeah, you'll catch the Lions, and you'll probably split with the Bears. That puts you at 5-12.
They split with the Bears, you think?
I think you're going to struggle to go to Chicago. First of all, the game's in primetime, and Kirk Cousins can't play in primetime. Why? I don't know, but he can't.
I think you're giving the Bears too much credit on that one.
No, I'm really more sliding Kirk Cousins because he has – I can't remember I know
what his primetime record is?
Because it's brutal.
Right.
Brutal. Oh, he's 0-9. He's never won in primetime.
Mm-hmm. No, see, this is a perfect opportunity for him to do so because he's playing the friggin' Bears.
Well, this ain't the first bad team he's played in primetime.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would say they probably lose to the Bears. They actually play – they have 2 – they have 3 of 4 games in primetime, and it's 2 of the 3 games that I actually thought they could win. And, well, this team's going to end like 5-12, 6-11.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them one that they steal from somebody. It's a 6-11 football team.
Okay.
Now, do I think they're more talented than that? Yeah, but you're not getting through the schedule. It's just not going to happen.
All right, the New Orleans Saints.
It's another team that's probably going to end up dropping like a rock.
New Orleans Saints at number 13. I got them at 11 this week. It's just
Their
just
schedule's
gross.
just so bad. Like, yeah, you play at the Bucs, you play the Cowboys, you play at the Titans and the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you should win every game on your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
That would put you at 11-6. They're not going to. This team probably finishes 9-8.
No, especially now. Especially now that you have, Michael Thomas ain't coming back. We were hoping for that offensive bump. Jameis Winston is gone for the season. You're going to have to go Taysom Hill.
Sorry, I got Kirk Cousins' record wrong. He's 0-9 on Monday Night Football.
Oh, okay.
Holy God.
What?
Kirk Cousins' record against good teams is maybe the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. As of the middle of last year, he was 7-31 against teams with winning records. It hadn't gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Ugh. Yikes. Anyway, sorry.
Anyhow.
StatMuse. There's a reason to use that website. You'll go down a rabbit hole. I've seen me do it.
Yeah, you just did it.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Before we found out that Michael Thomas wasn't coming back, I was looking at the schedule thinking, you know what, they might actually be able to scrape together 11 wins. Now I'm thinking 8. That might be the high watermark for them. The defense is still good, but I can't trust your offense for anything. Alvin Kamara. That's all you got.
That's a team that's you're killed by injury. And if you remember in the offseason, I told you this. This is a team that cannot withstand injuries at all.
Yeah.
And now you're here.
Yep. And I don't know where you're going to find help. Will it help them to bring in Deshaun Jackson as a deep ball threat? No.
No, because you got Taysom Hill that can't.
Exactly.
You're going to have to run a very. You remember the Dolphins with the Wildcat?
Mm-hmm.
That's how this offense is going to have to look.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know your receivers. You don't have anybody that can one-on-one win. And it's going to make it borderline impossible for you to move the ball.
They could just
and
solve
I don't care if you play Simeon. I don't care if you play Taysom Hill. I don't care.
They can solve all their problems by playing Ian Book. You know that.
Oh, stop. Ian Book sucks.
Yeah. No, New Orleans is going to crater.
They are.
Now that all this injury stuff has come to light. The Los Angeles Chargers at number 12.
This is just a team that I like the talent. I just don't think you're there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you know how to win. This is a team that I think is going to have to learn how to win close games.
Mm-hmm.
They really didn't have much of a reason to lose to New England, and I never felt like they were going to win.
Yeah.
From the end of the first quarter on, I never felt like they had a hold on that game. You don't run well between the tackles. You can do it against bad teams, but anybody that has any kind of opposition, you become super one-dimensional. I think they're very talented, but I think they're a year away.
I think Justin Herbert as well in the last 2 weeks, it's shown that, old defensive-minded, or I shouldn't say old, but older, experienced defensive-minded coaches, they can figure out a way to make trouble for him.
Well,
it happened against Baltimore, and it happened against New England.
Well, and something that we've thought about doing on the show is film breakdown shit. If I broke down the film, I could show you what it is that's fucking with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty consistent with sophomore quarterbacks because they stop believing what they're seeing. They see so much sleight of hand magic on defenses where you look at the alignment and then everything breaks down the minute you snap the ball and you start doubting everything you're seeing. Mm-hmm. He threw an interception in this game against New England. First of all, god awful. And I don't remember, it may have actually been dropped now that I think about it. He hit the defender in stride because he thought the defender was moving and he was trying to tuck it in behind his head. Well, no, the defender was moving to exactly where he was standing. And so it makes you look bad, and you can't. You have to learn how to read defenses, and I don't feel like Justin Herbert's doing a very good job of that right now.
Adam Black says, why wouldn't New Orleans call Cam Newton? Well, first off, I don't know that he's that big of an upgrade over Taysom Hill. Second off, they've already got, $10 million tied up into Taysom Hill? I mean, if
it's not
he really thought if Sean Payton, I almost called him Sean Taylor, Sean Payton really thought that Cam Newton could come in and carry this team to the playoffs, it'd have been done by now.
Adam Black, here's the...
What the heck are you guys doing? Trying to ruin my life and make me look like a friggin' idiot?
Why? Why do we have to bring up Cam Newton every time there's a quarterback opening?
Mm-hmm. Because he's the one guy that has been a starter in this league that is now sitting on the sidelines.
He cannot run that offense. Cam Newton fits in a Sean Payton offense the way I fit into a Tankini. He's not good. Mm-hmm. And the NFL keeps telling people this, and yet his name keeps coming up. And I do not, for the life of me, get it.
Because he's a character. Because he was the MVP of the league. Because he had all of the fanfare. And everybody looks at him as the superstar, especially Carolina Panther fans. Look at him as the superstar quarterback.
And he's not.
Exactly.
He's not. And the NFL's telling you this time and time and time and time again. CC said film breakdown would be fantastic. I really want to do that. And we have an ability to do that would be really cool. We just got to figure out how to set it up.
Mm-hmm.
Green screen. God, I love a green screen.
Cam Newton's not the answer. I like the other idea of Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement to join this team. Now that to me is a sound idea. Let's bring in Phillip Rivers. Let's see if he can get us to 11 wins.
The thing about Phillip Rivers, I think he would give you the best chance to win in the playoffs. And now, do I think you're a legitimate contender? No, but could you win a game? Sure. And Adam Black said I agree that he isn't anymore, but he's better than what they have. I don't agree with you. I actually think Trevor Siemian's a better NFL quarterback than Cam Newton is right now, especially in this offense. Taysom Hill, now that's debatable. But I'm telling you, I don't think it's a given that Taysom Hill's going to be a starter here. I don't know why. I'm just getting weird shit out of New Orleans of the timing of the Michael Thomas thing today, the fact that they're not coming out and really saying anything. I'm not going to be shocked if it's exactly how I said it, that Siemian winds up as the starting quarterback and Taysom Hill runs some weird extra role. But I don't hate the Phillip Rivers thing.
Mm-hmm.
He'd have to learn the offense because he's never been in it before.
Yeah, I feel like
that would take some time.
Really? So if
that's an aggressive playbook.
I was going to say, so if they brought him in, he'd need what?
4 weeks minimum.
4 weeks to learn the offense before he could even start?
I mean, if you dumb down the playbook and cut it in half,
that's exactly
maybe 2
what
weeks.
you do. Yeah.
But why? That's so this is another one of those things that gets into the deep divey of how football works. Is half of your offense with Phillip Rivers better than all of your offense with Trevor Siemian? The answer is no. Let's go straight up and tell you the answer is no. Because then you become super predictable.
Mm-hmm.
NFL offenses are complex as hell. So, I mean, if you brought him in now, I think somebody said that the Jason Trump said that his coaching season is done now.
Oh, okay.
If you can get him in now, then yeah, I would say by December he would be ready to be a real life NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that should be the path forward for them.
To me, I ride with the guys that have been there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a huge upgrade between Phillip Rivers and Taysom Hill.
Well, I mean, Sean
There's
Payton
an
knew.
experience.
Right. Sean Payton knew that this was a possibility.
100%
He knew. I mean, that's why he's got 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Get one of them as a flex tight end as well, but they were carrying 4 quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. There's a reason for that, because you knew at any moment Jameis could, you weren't planning on him having a season-ending injury, but at any moment he could just go full on crab legs and be like, oh, I'm crazy. So I doubt they're going to do anything to bring in another quarterback. But if they were, that would be the side that I'd be on. Phillip Rivers, that is. All right, ahead of the New Orleans Saints, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Or excuse me, the Chargers.
Yeah, we
already talked about that. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we backtracked there. Got me confused.
The Steelers and the 49ers, to me, are the same team. You have a limited offense with great playmakers, but your defense will keep you in every game that you play.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to come around to the Steelers are better than you thought they were?
I mean, I believe I've said that they're better than I thought they were. Because I thought they'd be one of the worst teams in the league.
They're not.
No, they're not. But they're still not good.
I disagree with you. I think they actually are pretty good. I think they're a playoff team.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get 3 playoff teams from the North.
Right, but I'll take your Tennessee Titans derision from yesterday. Oh, great, you're a playoff team. And you're not going to do anything with it.
Well, there's a big difference between the Steelers and the Titans. The Steelers were painted into a corner with Ben Roethlisberger because it was him or Mason Rudolph.
Mm-hmm.
For them making the playoffs is probably not much better than the rosiest colored Steelers fan probably did not think they were going to make the playoffs. And if they did, they'd be the 7th seed.
Mm-hmm.
So doing anything above and beyond that is a win. And it makes it more appealing to getting a quarterback in here. Pittsburgh's always going to be an alluring spot.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they've been good forever. But showing that a broken down Ben can take this team to this level of height, I think would intrigue the Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson litany of quarterbacks that are going to be available this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah. And you look at the rest of their schedule coming up.
I love that I've said that so many times now that you just...
Yeah, just going right past it. If you look at the rest of their schedule, to me there are 5 games that they definitely should win. Mm-hmm. If they're as good of a team as everybody thinks they are, you should definitely win 5 games, probably 6 games. If nothing happens with Kansas City to turn things around, you should have another 6 wins on this schedule. And that's 10 wins. And that gets you in the playoffs.
Yep.
You're not going to threaten with the better teams in the league. I mean, yes, I know they beat the Bills in week 1.
They didn't mean to.
I don't care.
I'm as probably generous to the Steelers as anybody, and they didn't mean to.
No. So they're not a contender for me. They're a playoff contender, but they're not a contender.
I agree with that. And to me,
this is exactly where they belong.
And to me, there's a pretty clear delineation right about here.
Mm-hmm. I love that you still have the Tennessee Titans at 8.
I do.
I mean,
it's a mixture of the schedule and, yeah, they're good. Who am I supposed to have them behind? I got to have them behind the Raiders. I got to have them behind the Bengals.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have them behind anybody other than that. Oh, and by the way,
everybody put them behind both of those.
Everybody loses their shit about the Bengals. Oh, God, the Bengals lost to the Jets. Yeah, they're still 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, calm down. They're still 10.
Mm-hmm. They're actually still 9 on mine.
And I almost had
that offense can be explosive. See, that's the thing is they're a team that they're very Jekyll and Hyde, the Cincinnati Bengals. They can be super good on offense, but they also can be pretty pedestrian. You realize they're number 2 in the league at 3 and outs?
Who are we talking about? Cleveland?
Cincinnati.
I mean?
We're talking about Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They're 2 in the league at 3 and outs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when they get the ball rolling, boy, howdy, Katie bar the door. They're going to score some touchdowns. they also can be very pedestrian on the offensive side. And that just goes from inexperience. Yeah, it's inconsistent, inexperienced, maybe partly on the coaching.
The Bengals fans must be watching this on tape delay. Oh, no, Brandon Harvick, are you a Bengals fan? For some reason, I thought he pulled for somebody else. I try to keep tabs on who everybody's team is.
So, I would have them. I do have them behind the Raiders. I have them behind the Bengals. I have them behind the Chargers, too.
I don't have them. I certainly don't have them behind the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. I see that. Cincinnati's still a good team. Everybody's jumping off the bridge because they lost to the Jets. Okay. Well, the Jets did this last year too. They beat two playoff teams at the end of last year. They've now beaten two playoff teams at the beginning of this year. NFL's weird. Weird things happen.
And that's the thing. And what makes it so funny to me? Oh, Aboye is Brandon Hardwick's brother. I did not know that.
Oh, well, damn. All right.
I feel like that's been said, and I read it, and it just didn't digest with me. Hey, a family affair. I like it.
Very good.
I like it. Those are some of my. I'll be honest with you. But my biggest surprise of the NFL season, and I can't say this on the ESPN show, but I can say this here.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest surprise of the NFL season is like 5 of my favorite people that watch this show are Bengals fans. As many poorly spelled death threats as I got over the course of the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, some of my favorite people are Bengals fans. I love all of you, though.
Yeah, so Cincinnati didn't fall very much for me this week, despite the loss to the Jets.
People are just beholden to the most recent thing they've seen.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bengals lost to the Jets. Put them at 17. Well, that's stupid.
Right. Well, it's got to be that way, right? You see them beat the hell out of a good team, and then you see them lose to a bad team, and you got to go, oh, no, what's wrong? Well, it's weird shit happens.
Here's my best explanation of the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals and the Chargers are the same team. The Bengals started a year behind, but they're going at a much quicker pace.
Okay. All right.
I would say they're evolving 2 games at a time to the Chargers 1.
Mm-hmm.
So they will catch and, in my opinion, pass the Chargers eventually. Not there yet. I think they're better, just more inconsistent.
Okay.
So you'll see losses like the loss to the Jets, and then you'll see wins where they just blow the doors off the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right. The Las Vegas Raiders. Let's talk about them for a minute. Losing Henry Ruggs for the year. They had to release him after the DUI crash.
And you know what? Kudos to them for that.
Absolutely. You just think of how many more trials and tribulations can this franchise go through? How much more can they rise above with losing their coach the way they did, now losing their star rookie or second-year wide receiver out of Alabama?
Here's the thing. This is a team that if they make the playoffs and so much as win 1 game, they'll make a Disney movie about it.
Yeah.
Literally. That's how much shit has happened around this Raiders team, and I still like them. I think they're handling things well outside of Mark Davis's, 7-year-old kid starter jacket backpack bowl cut combo.
Mm-hmm. They win a game in the playoffs.
And to me, that's a win.
Absolutely.
To me, that is a great season for the Raiders and a great building block moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And Rich Bisaccia will have that job full time.
And I'm not sure they shouldn't.
Maybe he should.
And we'll know more about that by the end of the year, but I still believe in that team.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he should. Maybe he should have the job full time. I don't know. I'm still at the point where, you're up in this top third of the league, but I want to see if you can. I want to see if you can do anything else with it. I want to see if you can keep overcoming the. I don't know. I mean, the offensive line continues to shuffle around for them. Their defense is way better than I thought it was going to be. They're much improved over last year.
Can I tell you the most insane stat you'll ever hear about the Las Vegas Raiders?
Yeah.
How many receivers do they have on their team?
6.
You're too high.
Is it 4?
You're too high.
3?
They have 3 receivers on the entire team.
So they got Hunter Renfrow, Brian Edwards, Darren Waller. That's right.
Zay Jones.
Zay Jones. He's the one. Yeah.
That's it.
That's all they got. And Deshaun Jackson.
I won't be shocked if they. I'm not going to lie. Somebody said that to me late last night, and I went, "No, that doesn't mean." Well, maybe,
yeah, it does.
Maybe
it does make sense.
Yeah.
I give you another guy to stretch the field like Henry Ruggs could do. I mean, not like he could do, but he's pretty good at it. He's been making a living at doing it. And I don't need him to. You said yesterday when we were talking about this outside, Deshaun Jackson's not going to come in and be an every down player. I don't think I need him to be. No. I don't need him to be. All I need him to be is that little wild card that I can throw to every now and then.
Just the sheer fact that this Raiders team, I mean, and look, this is just another piece of adversity that you're going to have to fight through. If you can keep this team together, they should literally build statues to Rich Bisaccia, and this has Disney movie written all over it to me.
Yep. They're another team that's got they've got winnable games on their schedule, but it's not going to be easy.
No.
It's definitely not going to be easy with the Bengals and the Cowboys, and who knows what the Chiefs are going to look like down at the end of the season if they'll continue to be bad.
Oh, I know what they're going to look like.
You are one pathetic loser.
You've lost all hope.
I don't think it's fixable. I said that yesterday.
Yeah. And they got the Colts and the Chargers again, down at the end of the season as well. The Colts will be a team that are fighting for a playoff spot as well at that point. So it's not going to be easy, but 10 wins is not out of the realm of possibility at all.
Nope. For
the Las Vegas Raiders. And then you got the Tennessee Titans without Derrick Henry.
We talked about them at nauseum yesterday.
Without Derrick Henry, it's going to be real tough, but I still have faith in that offense that they're going to be able to put some points on the board. I don't think it's going to be a drastic or as drastic of a drop as some people believe.
I believe it will be a drastic drop in how good the team is, but the schedule is bad.
Mm-hmm. Baltimore Ravens. They had an off week and rose in the power rankings. It's very rare that you see that happen.
I swear to you, I think the 7-8 spot for Baltimore, I think I've bounced them between those two so many times that the actual slide is purple.
Right. They continue to be a good team. Lamar Jackson is the guy. They built that offense completely around him. The defense is good. I mean, they can have big games like they showed against the Los Angeles Chargers, and they're going to have letdowns as well. It's going to be an ebb and flow kind of a thing, but they're going to continue to be at the top of the league.
I need to say this clearly. T's and P's for the Minnesota Vikings this week. Because they catch Baltimore off the bye week, off the shellacking they took to the Bengals. T's and P's. That's only 5.5. BetUs.com, promo code Sportsocracy. Because that's going to get back. That will be over a touchdown. I promise you by the time this
get that 125% deposit bonus, by the way, when you make your deposit and use our promo code Sportsocracy at BetUs.com. The Dallas Cowboys are at 6. That is where they fall in for me as well. At this point, I just can't have you any higher. I've got too many. Everybody is jammed up right there at the top. And it starts for me with the Baltimore Ravens all the way to number 1. There's not much delineation for me between all of those teams.
See, to me, there is a delineation. There's a delineation. The Cowboys are, my team at 6.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Rams at 3, the Cardinals at 4, the Bucks at 5, Cowboys at 6, Ravens at 7. That's a whole tier to me. Those 5 teams together are a tier.
Okay.
And then there are the 2 best teams in the league. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of think it's actually a 3-team tier with the Rams and the 2 that are 1-2.
I was getting ready to say.
And then I think there's just a clear delineation.
Right.
And then you get Cardinals, Bucks, Cowboys, Ravens, another drop down to Titans, Raiders, Bengals, Steelers, and then I'll put the Chargers in that. I don't want to, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
And then there's another huge step down to the Saints.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there are clearly 2 teams at the top as well. My 2 teams are not the same 2 teams that you have at the top.
All right. I have your Bucks at 5.
Yeah, that's where I have them as well.
I don't think you can have them any higher.
No, because there's too many deficiencies right now. The secondary's bad. The penalties are god-awful. They're only one penalty on the season behind Philadelphia.
They're very undisciplined, which is weird for a Brady team to be this undisciplined.
Yep.
Not weird for a Bruce Arians team, though.
I have the Arizona Cardinals at 4 as well. The loss this past weekend, Kyler Murray's now going to be out maybe 3 weeks. They will probably still there's no way that they're going to do anything over the next couple of weeks. I think that will, drop them markedly in the power rankings. I still feel like full strength, they're one of the best teams in the league. Green Bay just went in there and surprised them this week. And I wasn't all that surprised. We talked about this as a team that has a few nitpicky holes, and they showed it. Green Bay showed it that the big fatal flaw for them is stopping the run.
Yep.
And as long as I can ground and pound against you, it's going to matter. It's going to matter down the stretch. My number 3 is the Green Bay Packers. I just couldn't put them up in the top 2. You still have massive holes.
And it hadn't mattered.
And it hasn't mattered. But it will.
Patrick Holt in the comments said the Cowboys aren't better than Baltimore.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. Because defensively they're better. Now, can that change? Sure. There's a lot of vets in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
If they played right now, and I can, as a matter of fact, I can answer this question because I forgot it's Wednesday.
2 points.
We usually record this on Tuesdays.
It's 2 points, and that's where it's at for me.
I can tell you where Vegas would have it.
It'd be Dallas -2.
Do. Boop. 1.5.
Hey, that was close.
If those two teams played each other on a neutral field, it'd be Dallas -1.5.
Mm-hmm. I think Dallas is better offensively.
And I'll be honest with you, I very well might take Baltimore in that.
Mm-hmm. I think Baltimore is – I think they're about even defensively, honestly. I mean, it's only because of the takeaways. The takeaways for Dallas make up for a lot of their ills. They're still giving up huge yardage. They're still giving up big plays. They've given up as many 20-plus yard plays this year as they did in the same amount of games last year. The defense, the big difference is Trayvon Diggs is intercepting a pass every game, and they're getting other explosive plays from other guys on the defense.
How many teams in the NFL give up more yards per game than the Baltimore Ravens?
The Baltimore Ravens?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, 4.
7.
7, okay.
Mm-hmm. Dallas Cowboys are not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys are a middle-of-the-road defense that, like you said, does force a lot of turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily care how many yards you give up. I mean, obviously, it plays a role.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't look at the Miami Dolphins who are giving up 410 yards a game. Yeah, you're bad defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Tao said Trayvon Diggs getting burned every game. Yeah, he's really annoying because he is one of the he has allowed the second most yards in the NFL and has the most interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
And has allowed, I think, the third lowest QBR against him.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things do not line up well together.
No, I mean he's a ball hawker. He's going to cheat and he's going to get beaten. I mean, he's just great when the ball's around him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great player. But I don't necessarily think it's a foregone conclusion that Baltimore's, or that one is way better on defense than the other. I do believe that one is way better on offense than the other. And I think it's the Dallas Cowboys. They could just do so many more things, in my opinion.
I'm going to be really honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
You're all going to tell me I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Cowboys are going to be the 1 seed in the NFC.
Could be.
Have you looked at their schedule?
There's 13 wins at least.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
There's 13 wins, and that's with them losing to the fucking Saints.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the worst schedule I've ever seen. But you go in and you got to play in Jerry World. I mean, and you can think about them what you want to. They're set up to have the NFC go through Jerry World.
Yep.
And that place is loud as hell. And if they're the 1 seed, it's going to be even louder. They're going to be a tough out.
I agree.
Patrick Holt said the best win for the Cowboys against the Chargers. Then again, Baltimore's best wins against the Chargers, too. I was waiting for you. I literally did not say the first one just to see you come around to the second one.
Right.
That's what I love about you guys. You're just smart.
Just smart. Just figure stuff out.
I love it.
Yeah. Now, Green Bay was my 3 this week. I do think there's a big there. I won't say it's big, but there is a drop off for me between 1 and 2, and the rest of the top.
There's a big drop off for me between 1, 2, and 3. The top 3 are clear. You got the Cardinals at 4. I still believe in that team. I believed in them forever. Luke Haynes said the Cowboys are going to get bounced in the playoffs. They very well may. But they're going to have every advantage you could possibly have.
And the top 2 this week.
I bet you can guess it.
Oh, you moved the Buffalo Bills back to 1, didn't you?
Yeah, damn right I did.
God almighty.
Though nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
All right, you got the Buffalo Bills 1, the Green Bay Packers 2.
I never should have moved them off 1 in the first place. I didn't want to. I caved to pressure. I shouldn't have, and I corrected it after a week. The best team in the NFL. There is not a team in this league that you could tell me on a neutral field plays the Buffalo Bills that I would not take them against. Not one. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't even think about it.
There is one. There's one, and it's the LA Rams. They're my number 1.
I don't agree with you.
After picking up Von Miller, that defense becomes even scarier than it was.
Yeah, and I had a feeling that's why you were saying this.
Absolutely.
You have to remember, this is not 22-year-old Von Miller. This is 32-year-old situational pass rusher Von Miller.
I don't care.
Well, you should. That's a weird way to take that. He was one of the best defensive players of all time, and he's not anymore. He's a very good situational pass rusher. I had somebody say this to me yesterday, and it's resonated a lot. This is going to look way more Terrell Suggs with the Arizona Cardinals than it is DeMarcus Ware with the Denver Broncos. And I agree with that. He's lived hurt for the last 2 years. That's just not – I've said this routinely. There is not a player in the NFL that moves a number by more than a point to me. And Von Miller is one that moves it about half a point. So I look at Green Bay and Buffalo and go, that's the 2 best teams in the league. I think Green Bay and the Rams are close. And if they played, I don't know what the hell I'd do. I don't know that I could say, I'm going to bet against Aaron Rodgers. And that's the reason they're 2 and the Rams are 3.
Yep. To be in those top 2, I struggle with this because I immediately went to my power rankings and went, bam, Green Bay's number 1. But I don't think they are. I really don't, because they're not a complete team. They're not a complete team.
No, but and so it's the thing. There really aren't many complete teams.
No, there's 2 of them. There's the Buffalo Bills and the LA Rams.
Bills are not a complete team. The Bills are not a complete team. They can't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass. They're not a complete team.
Oh, I don't give a shit, though. I mean, it doesn't really – what?
They're a complete team. They're 3 facets of offense, and you can't do one of them. You're not complete. Oh, I don't give a shit. You should. You should, because that's your. As it gets cold, that's going to be something that you're really going to need to do, and they don't do it well. I mean, if anybody wanted to have a knock on the Bills, that's what it would be.
Yeah, but they still have. But it's not like they're the Miami Dolphins. They still have a couple of running backs that. I mean, they're going to be good enough for what Josh Allen can do. Zach Moss and Devin Singletary, they don't do what they need them to do to open up things for the passing game. Yeah, they do.
Josh Allen does enough. I mean, you're Devin Singletary. Zach Moss averages 3.5 yards a fucking carry. So no, I don't really look at that and go, yeah. No, that's a problem. You got 3 dudes that average 40 yards a game. That's your rushing attack. Oh, but they're like 8th in the league in yards. Yeah, and that's why yardage stats are very misleading. Because the team's been ahead a lot. In a close game, I think you're going to struggle to run. I could argue there's not a complete team in the NFL.
Okay. What are the Rams missing?
They're the closest. I would say they're the closest. They're really, really, really thin. I mean, really razor thin.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the biggest slight I could take at them. But that's a big-ass slight.
One injury and it all comes crashing down.
One injury to Matthew Stafford, and they are a borderline playoff team.
Okay, but I would say that about every other team in the top 10.
Oh, that's why you've got to let me finish the statement. One injury to Cooper Kupp, they're not a dynamic offense anymore. Now you're a one-man band.
Mm-hmm.
One injury to Darrell Henderson, you can't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass. One injury to any offensive lineman, and you are going to take a fall off a cliff. Injury to Aaron Donald or Von Miller, you're not going to be able to get after the quarterback. Injury to Jalen Ramsey, you're not going to be able to stop a high-end player. Do you see where I'm headed with this?
Mm-hmm.
It has not happened.
Mm-hmm.
But your one injury, and Stephen Tao said I'm reaching. There's nothing reaching to this. The reason you don't not make a first-round draft pick for 8 years, because this is what happens. The Kansas City Chiefs are learning it right now. The Kansas City Chiefs have the same problem. The problem is that their starters are not nearly as good as LA's.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens? Oh, something goes wrong. Right now, things are going wrong in Kansas City. What can you do? Nothing. You have no alternative because the backside of your roster should be on a practice squad somewhere, not starting an NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem. That's not a reach in any way. It's actually, I could argue it's the biggest problem you can have in the NFL.
Oh, wait, what does it mean?
It just hasn't hurt the Rams yet.
Yeah. I was going to say, didn't we just go over their roster the other day, and you were like, did you realize how many of these guys they got in the draft?
Those guys are all starting.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are all starters. Look what's behind them.
Yeah.
Now, could they be talented? Sure, I wouldn't know. They've never played.
Right.
But, yeah, like the Jordan Fullers of the world, those are starters.
Mm-hmm. And,
yeah, you got 5th, 6th, 7th round starters. That's fantastic. You're still thin as hell.
Who's the deepest team in the league?
Deepest team in the league?
Yeah.
1 to 53?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
It's either Tampa Bay or Baltimore. I could argue it's Baltimore because I think they're on like their 40th starter and they're still 7.
Yeah, I would think Baltimore has already proven that they can be deemed the deepest team in the league.
They're very high up there.
But now they're super thin because everybody's hurt.
Yeah, the deepest teams in the league, I would say. I would put, you know what? As a matter of fact, I'd put Baltimore 1, Tampa 2.
Dallas.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Dallas.
I think Dallas
been in the top 5.
I think Dallas would definitely be on there. I mean, just look at their skill positions.
And then you've got.
Michael Gallup coming back, Tony Pollard, like.
And then there's a series of teams they're not necessarily deep. There's just not a lot of guys that could get hurt. There's going to be a drastic drop off. Like I saw Brandon Hardwick in the comments say the Bengals. You're not wrong, but you're not wrong, but not for the reason that you said that. There are not a ton of guys that can get hurt for the Bengals where you go, oh, fuck, well, the season's lost. It's Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Awuzie, Trey Hendrickson, and that's about it.
Right.
I literally went down the line on the Rams. There are like 10 guys that could get hurt that it would be devastating to them. And when you're that top-heavy, that's kind of a problem. I hope that made some vague form of sense. I was sounding that out basically as I was saying it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of did. And, again, we will agree to disagree here. Buffalo Bills, I have them as my 2. I think they're, far and away the best team in the AFC.
They are.
I still think they are a complete team, regardless of the fact that they can't run all that well. I don't think it really matters. When I have a quarterback that can run that well and he can do the things he can do with his arm, I can get after the quarterback now. My defense is pretty damn good. To me, that's a complete team.
No, not saying, they are pretty complete. You still have a problem running the ball, and that becomes a real big issue in Buffalo in January.
Yep, it could very well. Anyhow, there's Week 9 power rankings here in the Sportsocracy. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us here this morning in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different.
Christian McCaffrey designated a return.
Hey, there you go. So he might be active this week. may not be. They've got 21 days to bring him back into the fold, and we shall see. Hopefully things are looking up for the Carolina Panthers. You put CMC back on this team, they automatically, in my book, jump 7 spots. 7 spots on the power rankings just for getting Christian McCaffrey back. Join us this afternoon on ESPN Asheville. We'll talk some college football. Oh, there's some narratives in college football that are going on today that we can't get down with, but we'll talk about it this afternoon.
I'm definitively going to yell, and he might, because we're rather pissed at a narrative that's really stupid.
We'll talk about fairness this afternoon in the Sportsocracy. ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400 locally, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And, of course, join us back here on YouTube for the stream. We'll see you next time.